Hello Viewer users, Alex here, Very Guide, and tonight we're gonna check how we can simulate that boat body, the hull, on those waves that we just created. Okay, so last time, as you remember, we've created that ocean and we added some wind. Actually, going to reduce the wind to 0.1 to be very minimal, and I'm only going to use that boat hull, the body. I'm not gonna use any extra geometry like sails and stuff like that. I just disconnected that, grouped it, and then you can link it. So everything that this body is going to perform, if you have linked your geometry, even if it's hidden, later on you can unhide it and have it in your animation. Okay, it's always a good practice to create a very low poly closed object for the water, so the water will not go inside. Okay, so I have something like that. Okay, now let's do our active bodies. So we're gonna add that right here, and we need to add our hull, the boat hull. Let's call it hull, and go back to active bodies, and let's add that right here. Okay, now second step is to go right click on that boat, Phoenix FD, and in those properties, as you can see, we can get wetting if we have wetting material. Everything should be here by default, animated vertices. So the active bodies is right here. We can choose how big is our object that we're going to simulate. Of course, steel and all of those 1,000 is a water, so it's got to be a little bit lighter than water in order to float. And just because we scaled our units and our boat also, we got to kind of play around and test what works better. So I'm going to start from ship hull here, and I'm actually going to add original animation influence. Because my boat is tilted like that, I want to keep the tilt. So 0.0, let's do 0.05 like this, and click OK. So it will get a little bit resistance from the animation, basically. Now let's click on our simulation here, and we need to add that active bodies into our dynamics right here. So click active bodies, and on the none, we're going to select this one, and let's leave it as it is by default. Okay, we don't have any wetting, but those you can check in previous tutorials. This can be really cool if you have some object that's gotta have like a wet water on it. Okay, so let's simulate and see how this works. What the simulation is actually doing, you can see here, it duplicates my boat hull and it's hiding it. The one that's been duplicated, that's the one that actually we see here, and that's the one that's going to be simulated with the water. As you can see, my boat is a little bit too high, so let's see how this actually works. All right, and we did like 186, 187 frames of that simulation. You can see that the ocean is really rough, so let's calm it down a little bit, and we can do this by actually lowering down the wave force. Let's find our wave force. It's right here, and let's see. Well, yeah, 10 is a little bit too much. Let's decrease it significantly. Let's put just 1. And I'm also going to lower my wave height Let's do about 2 meters. Okay. Oh, I forgot one more thing. In our boat, let's change the preferences to cork, so it will float better. It will have less resistance. All right, and that simulation is also done. So I do like how waves brushing off the boat here. It looks really nice, especially this shot. Unfortunately, I don't want to have those small wacky waves. I want to have a little bit bigger waves and not jumpy waves like that. So a little bit more calm, solid, and slightly bigger. So let's do those final adjustments, because we're actually going the right direction. Is just those few little tweaks to the wave force. So let's increase the wave force a little bit. Let's put 7 here, and let's actually go back to 3 meters at our waves, so you can see the waves will be nice, long, and big. This is what I'm looking for. Nice, long, big waves, but tall enough, to rise up the boat and let it bam smash on a wave. So I want those really high rises and those fall offs down sliding the wave. All right, so let's simulate that again and see what we get. All right, and the simulation is done. Those waves looking pretty good. This is exactly what I was aiming for, to have a really nice long waves to rise up my boat and then slam it, as it falls down the wave. The waves brushing the boat really nicely, and I really like how it came out towards the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is how you set up and tweak your big waves ocean with active bodies. And keep following, because in the next tutorial I'm gonna show you how we can make a bouncing boat really sailing and bouncing off the waves in the ocean with a nice speed. Yeah, and probably one character also driving that boat. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. This is Alex, your beer guy. Ciao.